I'm 27, no girlfriend or kids. I'm pretty comfortable in my job and get to have a lot of playtime when I'm not at work, because I literally work half the year only offshore on an oil rig. My stepmom was pretty nice to me when she first married my dad, until she had my younger brother, 4 years after they married. I was 13 at the time, and I remember her switching personalities almost immediately. She didn't want me around her newborn baby, so my dad basically sent me to live at my grandparents' because there was no space in the house for me, which I get was only 2 bedrooms. And my mom was really into bad habits, so I couldn't live with her. I had no idea what was going on. I just remember my stepmom crying so much and screaming that I needed to leave, and I remember my dad bundling me into the car at 3 in the morning, taking me to my grandma's. I don't see myself as part of their family at all now, and our relationship has improved greatly over the years, and I gotta say, my stepmom is really nice to me now, but I just feel distant from all of them. She's apologized for her past behavior and hinted at PPD or something, but I don't know for sure. Regardless, it ducked up my relationship with her and my dad, because they were all I had for a long time. I gotta stress, my stepmom is pretty cool with me now, and my dad has always maintained some kind of relationship with me, but I have no special attachment to them. I recently got a big pay raise, so I bought my dream car, and I plan on literally keeping this car until the day I die. I drove it to see my folks, and the first thing my stepmom did was congratulate me, but then burst into tears straight away because she said she's worrying about the mortgage on the house, and if she had known I was flush, she would have asked to borrow some money. They're skipping meals and not paying for internet, electricity, etc. I felt really bad because my dad was disappointed and said that I kept such a big purchase from them, and that he hoped we'd have been closer to talk about this kind of stuff. He also said that they're worrying about my brother's college, which he'll be starting in a few years, and told me I wasn't a good family member. I can't lie, that hurt. I feel like I am a good family member, and I look after my grandparents as much as I can because they basically raised me. My grandma and grandpa still keep a room for me filled with all my stuff for whenever I go visit, and I pay a lot of their bills and stuff out of gratitude for what they did for me growing up. I could help them, and I probably will, but again, I just feel like an alien who can do no right. I've kind of been losing sleep over this because I feel so guilty. Am I the a-hole here? Not the a-hole. They're disgusting, entitled narcissists. Good for you for doing well, but you don't know them crap. Family is who you choose, not who you're born to, and they clearly never chose you. Don't give them a thing, and don't feel badly. Not the a-hole. She is toxic and nasty, dude. Don't give her any more passes. A new baby in a 2-bedroom house is not cause to abandon the other kid. What the hell? Enjoy your new ride. Drive far away from the leech. Not the a-hole. Let me get this straight. At 13, when stepmom and dad had their baby, there was suddenly no room for you and you were shipped off to your grandparents and you are the bad family member? Don't lose sleep over this. My mom, mid-40s, takes pride in her look and style. This weekend, she sent my fiancé a picture of the dress she bought for our wedding, which is in 9 months. I could see that my fiancé wasn't reacting well when my mom called her for thoughts. My fiancé, being respectful, mentioned that the style, deep V and flowy, and colors, blue and splashes of beige that looks close to white, were a concern because it could be similar to her wedding dress. Talking to my fiancé after their call, she asked me if I could ask my mom to get a new dress. As a preface, my mom is an intense and demanding person. We're Polish, and she escalates things quickly, but I thought that when I called and asked her, she'd be upset, but still understanding. I called her yesterday and asked her how everything was going, how I saw the dress and thought it was beautiful, but had some concerns with it, namely the style and part of the color scheme being very close to white. In the most calm manner, I explained that I don't want my fiancé to feel upstaged or not the center of attention on her wedding day, and I'm worried that could happen at the wedding if my mom wore this particular dress. Silence on her end, until a bomb dropped. She went off on me saying that she can't believe that I'd ask her to get a new dress, and that I shouldn't worry about my fiancé's insecurities and grow the duck up. Being calm, I explained to her that this is my and my fiancé's wedding day, and that it's important that my future wife feels most special. My mom went to state that this day is special for her too, and she will wear what she wants. Final. I explained, while this is a special day for everybody, it's particularly my and my fiancé's wedding, and I'd feel much more comfortable if my mom could just get a new style and color dress. She continued to go off, now throwing insults at me, talking crap about my fiancé and her family, and saying that she won't be a part of my hillbilly wedding. We're all from Chicago. If she can't wear what she wants, and that it won't be dictated to her what to wear. She also claimed that my fiancé and I always have problems, and that our wedding planning has been a disaster. I have no idea where this came from because everything has always been smooth on our end, and we are mostly self-funding the wedding and not relying on my mom for anything. I then started to get frustrated and told her to watch what she is saying because she can ruin relationships for good, and that if she doesn't want to be a part of my wedding because of this, to say it now, and we can make that happen. Our conversation ended in screaming back and forth, as I had had it with the insults and unwillingness to be flexible. Now my family birthday dinner and holidays are ruined unless she apologizes. Knowing her, she won't. Am I the a-hole for asking my mom to get a new dress for my wedding that is 9 months away? Not the a-hole. Monster-in-laws tend to do this. She's sad about losing her baby, so pretends it's okay for the day to be about her and only her. You need to stand your ground and simply say no white to the wedding. Offer to go dress shopping with her, etc. Not the a-hole. Having now seen the dress, I think the biggest issue isn't that it looks like a wedding dress per se, but that it's a scene stealer. It's far fancier than typical wedding guest attire and is only going to draw a lot of attention to her. Your fiancé is likely trying to minimize the amount of attention-seeking behavior your mom engages in at your wedding. Of course, that completely backfired. I think it's time to consider whether your mother is welcome at this event. Not the a-hole. This battle is over a dress. There will be a next one over holidays, and another over how often you are expected to visit, and 1,000 more when you bring children into the equation. Mom will be demanding her way about everything. There will be World War III between your wife and your mom about your mom demanding her way and refusing to back off if you don't get into the habit of standing up to her now and cave. This is just how your mom is going to be, period. My sister is a very jealous person. Growing up, it wasn't the biggest deal because I was the black sheep of the family, and she was my mother's golden child. But as I got older, I learned to embrace the things that made me awkward or different, and I started flourishing in a lot of areas that I know she's still insecure about. I've been lucky to have found success as an artist, whereas she's still fighting for her big break. She's a digital artist and I'm in theater, so there's not enough overlap for me to give her a leg up or anything. I have a very unique look, so even though I'm not especially attractive, I definitely stand out in a crowd, while she's more conventional looking. I have a really beautiful life that has allowed me to accomplish some impressive stuff, and I know she resents me for achieving more than her when she always thought it would have been the other way around. I've always gotten a lot of flack for things involving her wedding, one of which being how little I've contributed to it financially. I'm not wealthy, but my partner is a more notable actor and has quite a bit of money. They don't know my family very well, though. But I'm not particularly close with my sister, and I've gotten burned in the past when I tried to give expensive gifts for Christmas or birthdays and unintentionally made other people look bad. I think that both my sister and my mother have taken my avoidance of the wedding as a personal offense, even though I was trying to stay out of it so that the wedding could be about my sister and not me. I'm hyper aware of the fact that I attract a lot of attention because of the way I look or the stories I tell about my life or the friends that I have. I'm pretty good at managing it and keeping myself humble, but I feel like this time it's gotten me stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't really dress myself up for events, but if I dress normally, they'll accuse me of not caring or being intentionally sloppy for the wedding. If I do, my sister will pitch a fit about how I'm trying to upstage her or show off my money. If I bring my partner to the wedding, chances are that they'll be recognized and the wedding will become a lot less about her very quickly. But if I don't bring them, my mother will start up an old fight about how she thinks I'm embarrassed by our family. Or worse, I'll have to deal with random distant relatives making comments about non-existent relationship issues between me and a partner that they don't even know. I'm not a bridesmaid, I'm not close with my sister, and I have a really strong feeling that the night is going to end with me getting a lot of attention, either positive or negative, and hurting her feelings. So am I the a-hole for wanting to say duck it and ditching the wedding for a calm night in? Or should I just suck it up for one night and try to take the route that makes me look like a crappy sibling so the wedding can go smoothly? Edit 2. I wanted to clarify this a couple of times, so I might as well include it in the post. My sister used to give me a really hard time for not being as good as her, which is why we're not close now. My partner and I aren't married, but they're the kind of actor that you can't go out to lunch with because they'll get recognized. So I'm considering asking them to stay home because they weren't explicitly invited. My sister told me that bringing them as my +1 was fine, but I feel like it may have just been a courtesy thing. You're the a-hole, mainly for how conceited you sound in that message. You stand out for the way you dress and the crazy stories you tell? Well, just don't dress to outshine the bride. That's a basic rule of weddings. And also don't go around telling stories at her wedding that you believe will make you the center of attention. You're not a celebrity. You won't just take over the wedding by being in the room. If Beyoncé can go to her friend's wedding as bridesmaid and stay in the background, you sure as hell can too. Dear Internet, I'm so pretty and so interesting and so famous. I'll ruin my sister's wedding with my obvious superiority. You're the a-hole for your self-absorbed bragging. Oh wow, the ego on you is unbelievable. Yes, you're the a-hole. Get over yourself and just wear something low-key for a day. I'm not exactly conventional looking, but if I go to a wedding or whatever, I make sure I style myself appropriately for the occasion. Sounds to me like you intentionally want to cause a commotion, and you're running it by us to work out if you can get away with it. I work as an assistant to a senior partner at a law firm. I work closely with Kaylee, who is also his assistant, and for some reason, Kaylee hates this man's wife. She claims she is a huge B, but I just don't see what the woman is doing. Her only evidence is that she looks damaging, or looks like a princess. He has lunch with his wife about once a week, and she sometimes comes up and waits for him or to say hi to one of his friends. Kaylee is quite bothered that she isn't following the dress code, but she doesn't even work here. Kaylee has told me before that she's degrading the office by coming in workout clothes and crop tops, and that she doesn't respect him as a lawyer because she bounces on him. She also got pissed at the firm Christmas party and said his wife was trying to upstage people, which made no sense to me because it wasn't like a wedding or something. Yesterday, his wife came in to bring him something he forgot at home. She was wearing a crop top, but again, she doesn't work here. Kaylee told me that the woman is such a bee and a princess and is destroying the practice. I finally got annoyed and asked what her problem was and if she was in love with our boss or something. She got super mad and said that was harassment. She refused to talk to me the rest of the day. Not the a-hole. Kaylee sounds like so much fun to work with. Such positive energy. Not the a-hole. I smell insecurity in Kaylee a mile away. She's probably very jealous of his wife. Nothing wrong with calling her out on it. Not the a-hole. This woman is projecting by saying you are harassing her. You need to have a discussion with HR before she does it, and include this man. If your coworker accuses you, to stave off crush rumors, this will hit you badly. And anything you reply with will just seem like you are trying to cover your butt with a story. My girlfriend and her mom have a weird relationship. Her mom isn't very supportive of her and makes her feel worse when she's already down. For example, my girlfriend has a chronic illness and it flared up during our anniversary weekend when we were staying at my parents' before we went into the city to celebrate. When my girlfriend texted her mom said, "Great, now you're a burden on his parents," even though my parents weren't taking care of her and didn't mind. In fact, they were worried. Overall, just not the best mother. One other thing she does is not ever really buy my girlfriend gifts or celebrate her accomplishments. My girlfriend doesn't feel entitled to them, but even just a card acknowledging her birthday sometimes would be appreciated. My girlfriend does theater, and her mom never gets her flowers or cards or anything to celebrate that, if she even shows up to the performance at all. It makes my girlfriend sad because she feels like her mom doesn't give a crap. She's tried talking to her about it, but her mom makes excuses. The thing is, my mom is very supportive, which is sweet. She'll show up to every show my girlfriend is in, which is great, but she ends up going over the top, buying her flowers and gifts. My girlfriend is appreciative, but then gets upset saying, "Your mom is so much nicer to me than my own mom. Why can't she be like that?" It all sort of came to a head recently. I knew that my girlfriend's mom was coming to my girlfriend's summer performance and that she was giving her a coupon for clothes shopping, which I knew that would make my girlfriend upset. So I asked my mom to not make a big deal of it and to not get my girlfriend flowers or anything fancy. It was just going to upstage her mom, then upset her, and make her go into a tailspin about how her mom sucks and how my mom loves her more. My mom showed up to the performance with a bouquet of flowers, a pair of earrings, and a card. Lo and behold, after the performance, I had to hear the same thing. My mom loves her more. Why is her mom so uncaring? Why can't she give her gifts and a card? The same thing, same cycle. So I was upset with my mom, and my mom thinks it's ridiculous that I'm upset with her. She thinks I should be grateful that she's so good with her girlfriend. I am, but I'm just tired of seeing my girlfriend so upset. Am I being an a-hole here? You're the a-hole. I think you're misinterpreting this. The fact that your girlfriend gets emotional because your mom is so much nicer than hers doesn't mean your mom is upsetting her by buying her gifts. It sounds like your girlfriend really appreciates it and is moved by it. Your girlfriend is upset because her mother is unkind, not because your mother is kind. It's okay for her to be upset about that. It's not your job to prevent her from having those feelings, but to be a comfort to her. Your mother's right. You should be grateful that she's so good to your girlfriend. It's very sweet and generous. It's up to your girlfriend to speak up if she actually doesn't want gifts. You're the a-hole. Your mom is just being a good person. The problem here is your girlfriend's relationship with her mother, not your mother. Does your girlfriend know you've chastised your mom about being too nice to her? The logic here is just astounding.